CNN's Drew Griffin now takes a look at the gunman's texts before the massacre. I want to note this report does include several images of the shooter.
This is the text conversation just moments before the 18-year-old suspect would attempt to kill his grandmother, then, in his words, shoot up an elementary school. "You know what I'm going to do right now," he writes. "Tell me," is the response. "I can't, since my grandpa hasn't left. I'm waiting for this dude to leave." Shortly after 11 a.m. Texas time, the suspect then complains about his grandmother and his phone bill. "I'm waiting for this bitch. I'm gonna do something to her right now. She's on with AT&T about my phone. It's annoying." 5 minutes pass, then "I just shot my grandma in the head. I'ma go shoot up an elementary school right now." That last message, sent at 6:21 p.m. German time, which would have been 11:21 a.m. in Uvalde, Texas. 11 minutes later, police received their first call of a shooting at Robb Elementary School. The person on the receiving end of those texts, a 15-year-old girl in Germany. She had never met the suspect in person. They connected through a live streaming app called Yubo, then FaceTime, texted. He sent her videos of himself. She's not the only person he was communicating with. The shooter's Instagram account showed a photo of 2 AR-style weapons and tagged another young woman, who he messaged the morning of the shooting saying, "I'm about to," but didn't finish his sentence, and then "I got a little secret."
Jake, the teenage girl who spoke to CNN from Germany did so with her mother's consent, and she says that reaching out to him through social media was her only connection. Jake?
All right, Drew, thank you so much. Appreciate it. The survivors and immediate community around Uvalde suffer the most acute pain, of course, but trying to comprehend tragedies such as this one, the sadness, the fear, the anger, can impact the mental health of all of us. Here to help us understand this moment, Karen Price, Chief of Psychology at Texas Children's Hospital. Professor Rice, thanks for joining us. So you lead a team working with the victims and community, specifically in Uvalde. What does your team say to them? How can you help them?
So during this initial phase, really, it's more focused on helping the community get through the crisis, to get through the tragedy, with an eye toward building back the community and building back resilience. So this really takes the form of talking with families, talking with school personnel, talking with community members, talking with parents about what they can expect to see, how they can help their children to manage the strong emotions that, of course, they're going to feel during this time, and what to look for in terms of signs and symptoms that things may not be going well and that they may need professional help.
Are there enough mental health resources in place to meet the needs of the community right now? And will there be in 6 months from now?
So nationally, of course, we're having a child mental health crisis, and we know that the community of Uvalde is going to need that mental health support. And so thinking about what services we can offer now and what services we plan to offer in the future, including sending clinicians who are trained in trauma to the community to help them deal with this crisis.
So there are families across the country, maybe even around the world, who woke up this morning and were terrified. Parents and kids scared to go to school. Let's start with the parents. How should parents manage feelings that they may have about fear, anxiety, sadness in a healthy way? What's the best way for mom, dad, or a guardian?
So the first thing is for people who are parents like myself to get their own support. So whether that is talking with friends, with family members, with partners, with other members of the community about their feelings, sharing them, talking about them, that's really important. But it's also really important to bring those feelings better under management, better under control when they're preparing to talk with their children about their children's feelings as well.
Let's talk about the kids now. What do we know about how young minds process this? What do kids need emotionally to understand or deal with the news of what happened in Texas?
The first thing that they need are adults around them who care about them, who can provide them with a stable environment and with structure, and with room to communicate about what they know, what they think they know, how they're feeling, and what concerns they have about what happened.